Hello lovelies, I am back with my first video in the new house. So new setup, basically this is a trial run and it turned out pretty good. So I am doing a video in my new art journal. Now when I say new art journal, I mean this is an altered book that I found. Yes, in my last video I told you that I needed to go get an art journal because everything was packed up, and I went to the op shop and found this really cool 12 by 12 book, and I'm turning it into an art journal. Only downside is it has glossy pages, so I do have to gesso everything before I use it, so that's what you caught me doing. The good thing about this book that I'm finding though is, see this fabulous page on the left with the cast of The Wizard of Oz? I'm actually going to leave that as it is. So I'm going to use some of the pictures and the pages in this book and just leave them as it is. So I think it's just going to add some interest to my really cool altered book art journal. So I'm starting with some scraps of some Scrap FX collage paper. So this is for a Scrap FX post, and the brief for this month was use some of your favorite bits and pieces. And I keep all of my leftover scraps when I use a rice paper or a collage paper or anything. I don't throw anything away, and I had this little corner left and I've been dying to use it, so I decided to put a bit in each corner, top left, bottom right, because I'm going for sort of like having color in two places. And yeah, so I thought this would be cool. This would be a good starting point. I'm drawing my colors from the papers, and I was thinking of adding some stamping as well, and using the patterns and things. I don't think I actually end up doing any stamping, but I spend a lot of time putting my color down. So I start with my scribble sticks because I love my scribble sticks, but I didn't like it. I didn't like how it ended up. Now, I've said it before many times, art journal pages tend to go through the hot mess stage. That starts from about here until, well, a fair way in. I really am unhappy with how this goes for a little while, but it all starts to come together in the end. So that is why, art journal pages, you got to persevere. Even if you don't like it, keep going, and you never know, you might end up with something that you're pretty happy with, which is what happened with this. I was very unhappy with the scribble sticks. I decided to come in with some paint, and to start with, I do not like it. Rookie error, I used too much paint, and I'm like, I'm not happy with it. And to make matters worse, I couldn't find my favorite paintbrushes because I thought they were upstairs, but then I remembered they're actually packed. Like when we moved, I put them inside a tub so they wouldn't get lost, and I forgot about it. So I don't have any of my favorite brushes. I'm using this really tiny brush, and I hate tiny brushes. So right now, I still do not like this page. I'm like, I don't like it, but it starts to come, a bit of water, add a bit of flow, and I start to get a little happy with it. But like I said, you got to persevere. Art journal pages go through the hot mess stage, and this one went through a very big hot mess stage, but I do end up liking it in the end. I really see, this is where it starts to come together. Take away some of that paint, add some water, get a bit of organic movement, and then the best tool we have, our fingers. So yeah, ditch the paintbrush. And I start to like it as it dries, because the gesso is down and I've added water. You can see it starts to thin out a bit, which I don't like. So I do come in with the paintbrush to sort of move that puddle around. So as it dries, it's drying as a thicker layer. It's not just pooling in one area. Again, rookie error. You can tell I haven't done an art journal page. Well, I've been out of practice for a while with the paint and the water and the gesso. I don't tend to use gesso a lot in my art journal. Okay, I never use gesso in my art journals because I just don't like the way products react with it. But this journal definitely calls for it. So I suppose this journal is going to be all about experimenting and learning, because this journal is very glossy paper, and obviously I might do a page without gessoing and see what happens. Like I said, experiment. But yeah, this does require gesso on this paper because it's very glossy. It's sort of like magazine paper. And yeah, and I'm also covering what's in the background because I do want to work on white space. I'm loving the whole white space thing. You know me, I tend to never leave white space. So I've been focusing on leaving some white space in my pages, and the fact that this is an altered book means I need to cover up what's behind it. So yeah, out comes the gesso, but yeah, it's changing the way my products are. But it's all about learning, you know. Even after all this time doing art journal pages, I'm still, you know, playing with my products and learning. This is where I start to enjoy the page. I add some of that blue. Like I said, I'm bringing in my colors from the collage tissue that's in there, and it had a little bit of blue, and I thought that would be really nice to add some of that in. And you can see I'm anchoring it off to the side so it's not just floating around. And I really like how the coloring turned out here. I was a little bit iffy to start with the paint, but in the end I'm really happy with it. So this little bird has a story. Like I said, the brief was use some of your Scrap FX stash, some of your favorite pieces. Now this bird has stuck with me for a while. I've had this for a long time in my Scrap FX stash. But funnily enough, it kept falling out of my Scrap FX drawer, and I would find it in the randomest places. I found this on the floor in my art room so many times it's not funny. And the reason it is actually out is because when I moved, once again, I just found it in a random place. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to use it. I finally get to use it on a page. And that is why I've decided to use it on this one. And I'm really happy how, that's also why I chose these colors, because I wanted the contrast of the black with the bird. And then, yeah, I'm just grabbing a title from one of my transparency sheets. And yeah, that's it for the page. So I hope you've liked this video. It was a lot shorter than I expected. But yeah, I really like how it came together. So thanks for watching. Be back real soon. Bye.